Good evening, guys. I'm recording this at 10:14 p.m. to the glory of God. Should be past bedtime, should be past lights out, but I mean, lights out is literal, so they've turned off our lights. But they are still letting us fetch water and stuff. Shit, I've not fetched water yet for tomorrow. I'm going to go on to say I didn't put this one I'm about to tell you now in my notes, so I'm going to just spit it out here first before I begin. So there's this chick in my platoon. We were talking earlier today, and then I was walking her towards the village market, and then I walked her up onto one spot where she wanted to pick up her power bank. So she crossed the gutter into where she's going to pick up her power bank, and I just stood by the gutter. Then some guys to my left were saying something. I don't know, man. They were just laughing, they were chuckling and saying, "Why I know they ha 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 ha." And then, now, by intuition, I know that they're saying something like, girl go use you do something inside mommy, like maybe have you pay for their stuff or have you work with them or whatever. I don't know what it was that they were trying to say, that thank God they're not in that situation. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then, turns out, there were 4. I thought there were even only 2. Turns out there were 4. And then one of them said, Coke, called me. Turns out I know one of the people in there, which is one of the guys I met the night I came. Like that day 0 of this podcast, I was introducing myself to people I saw in the room. Like the few people, boys that were in the room, there were like 7 of them. One Igbo boy. So he was the one that recognized me after they were talking. And then he called me over. So while she was still collecting her power bank now, I walked over to them. And he said, is it me that I carry babe or like, is it my babe? I carry babe? Or what is happening? Then one of them took my tag and was like trying to see if, by the way, I'm going to put this is a spoiler as well. OBS has given me a tag, so my state code is no longer on my neck again. It's the OBS tag that you will see, and if you turn the back, is my ID card, my national voters card. The back of my voters card is what you see, so you can't even really see if I'm an Osun or Lagos copper from my tag. So he took held my tag and was trying to ask me whether I'm Osun or Lagos copper. They just bombarded me with questions. I just looked at all of them. My mind was to ignore and just walk off from there. But then I said, who be these guys, I beg? That was the first thing I said. And then the guy that I know was like, you don't know me. I said, no, give him I'm I told him in Igbo that I know you, but who are these guys? Una no fit carry woman. People with person carry woman. Now we just stand together 4 of una. They laugh them like sausage party. Nah, I beg, no waste my time. And then I just left them. By that time, this chick had already left with her, carried her power bank and was waiting for me across the road. And I just left them and went to go and meet her to tell her good night. And then from there, in the same shop, in front of a shop where she was standing, I saw my bunkmates, and then 2 of us walked back to our hostel. Very funny. These children of these days, I mean, if it was me from 4 years ago or 3 years ago, that thing will embarrass me, and then I'll probably now start ducking the girl and not want to work with her. But I wasn't spending any money on her. I was just being a gentleman, listening to her problems of the day. Normal stuff. Being a human being to another human being. Not be everything boy and girl be using and whatever. Before I recorded this message, Korave Emmanuel, my guy, shout outs to you. He sent me a message that it's good to see that I'm becoming a perfect gentleman. But I think what he means is that I've stopped cussing on the channel. So yeah, thank you for that feedback. I really thought it was funny. And one of the reasons I used to do that was because some of the podcasts I listen to, some of these freestyle, free-flowing podcasts like this one now that I listen to are US-based, and they do a lot of the cussing. Anyway, let's get into what I have recorded for the podcast. 4 minutes gone already. First headline says, shut the pod. Obviously, if you listen to the last episode, you will know that it was this morning I recorded it while I woke up to go and do my OBS attendance, and because I couldn't shoot last night. The whole story as to why I couldn't do that was there. And then I got another OBS shoot today. Carnival they do during camp now. So every platoon is supposed to represent a tribe. According to our own schedule here, every platoon is representing a minority tribe. Shout out to Idoma people. There's Idoma there. I think platoon 11 or so. There's no platoon 11. Platoon 8 or 9 is doing Idoma. My own platoon is doing NYSCeries. And platoon 1, I was slated to interview a member of Platoon 1 today to ask about the culture that they are let me pause this thing I remember. Representing. So I was on the schedule for today without an OBS tag to run that interview. And so when it was time now, it was after Said lecture. Said lecture was already taking. Once they said 2 p.m. I said it was supposed to end at 2 p.m. dot, but by 1:59, this my solar Said guy was still talking a lot. So I left, went to the hostel. I intended to eat. Oh God, I have an update about kitchen food today, guys. And I'm going to tell you guys that I ate 2 meals from the kitchen today. I'm going to give you feedback about that later in this episode. So I came back to the hostel. The episode that I was supposed to shoot today was supposed to start at 2:10. So I left Said at 2 o'clock sharp. Came back, washed my flask to get it ready for dining after I finished my shoot. So I washed the flask, got it ready. I would have taken it to OBS office, but it didn't make any sense. So plus I wanted to go dining with Ima so that what am I even saying, Seth? But the man was supposed to play ball today, so he said you no go chop heavy food. So that I just washed my flask and left it in the hostel. All unnecessary information. Now I went to OBS office for the shoot, but my guests hadn't come yet. So the shoot that was supposed to happen after mine went on first. I mean, they told me all of this first. I'm sorry, your show cannot go on now because of this other guy. So eventually, my show went on. The Platoon 1 people came, and I spoke to them, told them it's nothing serious. We're just going to discuss. I'm sure you've done your research about this tribe extensively. And yeah, why they told me this in around 9 a.m. in the morning that I was doing this interview. So I did my research about the tribe as well. But guess what? I didn't understand the handwriting. The picture is in the WhatsApp channel, like the picture of the platoons and tribes that they are representing and the carnival is in the WhatsApp channel. And what I read as Platoon 1 was Kamiri, not Kanuri. It's Kanuri tribe, which is actually slightly popular. But it didn't look like Kanuri, it sounds like Kamiri. So I asked ChatGPT about the Kamiri people of Nigeria and asked it to give me 10 thought-provoking and conversation-starting questions. And he told me about the Kamiri people of Nasarawa State. Meanwhile, it is Kanuri people of Borno that I was supposed to interview them about. But I'll tell you guys how I escaped it and I didn't fuck up on live on air. So, time reached for our interview now. It was 2 people from the platoon and me. And we started doing the interview. But after I finished doing the intro, I didn't say the tribe myself, which was totally unintentional. Like, I just let the guy introduce themselves and the tribe they were representing. And then the guy now said Kanuri. And then I understood, because what is Kamiri though? You know? So they were very knowledgeable, you know, they had answers to all my questions. I learned myself a lot about the Kanuri people. And you know now, the Good Living Podcast, when I'm having guests, it's just for me to be able to learn stuff that I had not learned before. And since I'm genuinely curious, I just get to be asking questions and be going, pulling on threads that they give me. And so I learned a lot, you know, from that tribe. And then after that interview, they told me this is going to be like a series. I'm going to interview all 10 platoons and I'm in charge of their interviews now. That's literally how she just gave me that news. I'm in charge of their interviews now, which was welcoming. So I told her, so at least I deserve a tag now. So I pointed my this thing. I can't be walking around like this now. So I said, that's true. Hold on. Now came back and now gave me a tag. And that was how I got my OBS tag. I don't know if I've snapped it yet. I'll check the WhatsApp channel. I'll check if I got a picture of it. If I don't, I'll put it in there. And then before the side practical and lecture started, the lectures that we did before, you know, side is the last 1 hour between 1 and 2. The earlier lecture, which are the boring ones, I was just outside trying to listen to some of them. These NIN guys are so boring, eh? And then the person after, I don't know who that was, but I was playing wood that time. I'm playing wood outside. I have snaps of that as well. I'll put that up on the WhatsApp channel too. What I like about this WhatsApp channel is that you can even go back and see old pictures, old episodes, old things. So even if this is your first episode of the Good Living Podcast, you can still go back and look at all these videos at the appropriate dates and time. Amazing stuff, really, technology. Where were we? Oh yes, I'm sipping on palm wine now that Ima brought. I was telling this guy, the last time I bought palm wine, it messed me up. I couldn't make it. In fact, yes, I made it to sign my attendance at OBS at 4 a.m. But I felt sleepy the entire morning. I think that is even the day I came back and had to hide under that bunk. That is what this palm wine did to me. And I told him, you know, I can't wait for Saturday evening, I'll buy palm wine so I can drink it guilt-free and wake up whenever I want. Only for me to finish escorting this girl up to the Mami market and come back and see Pami on my bed. So, me and Ima check stock of the money we spent in week 1. What do you go? It was plenty. We decided, you know what? The federal government has allocated money for my feeding. I don't understand why I'm going to go and hustle and come and spend it on the market for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, we are going to the dining now, and we've set aside a budget for our extracurricular feeding, which I think is a good idea. So that's what we're doing. That's what we've done. And I'm going to go over to the food. So this morning we had breakfast, which was rice. What am I saying? Bread and tea with butter. Yeah, the butter was, the butter was there, but I didn't take the butter because it was difficult to even take the bread and the tea in one hand. You have in the two hands, and then you have to now open your bread for them to paste the butter inside. It was long, so I said I was going to use sardines anyway. So we bought sardines, we bought extra milk, evap to be specific, mixed it with our tea, which changed the game of the tea. I didn't even dare to test the tea before putting the evap in. And then the bread was of good quality, it wasn't falling apart or anything. Not great quality, but decent. And it tasted good as well. And then we used sardines to augment it. So it was a decent breakfast, I would say. Honestly, I would go for bread and tea every day if I could do it like this, And then for lunch, we were supposed to have swallow, but now, this shoot that we had going on. Something happened during that shoot. NEPA took light at some point during the previous shoot. So when we started our shoot, we were running on generator. And so while our episode was going well, the studio manager got a call from the head of OBS that he should turn off the gen. And the guy started rushing also. He got the call during our intermission, during the break while we were playing music. So he now told me, let's get live on air so that I can end the show. So I got live on air. He said I should even end the show straight up, but I no agree. I asked one more question and then ended the show. And so the show was ended abruptly. So 2 more things. I don't know if I've told you guys that OBS is no longer 4 a.m. in the morning for our attendance. It's 4:30, which means I can get a whole extra 30 minutes of sleep. I think if you manage your sleep well, you'll be high on energy. I've been high on energy. No caffeine, which I intend to introduce into my diet from Monday. I don't know, maybe it will be bad for me, but I'm going to try it. I'll be taking coffee once. So I'm able to sleep every afternoon these days. And then I can sleep 3 hours a night too these days. Power bank is charging. I know I'm going to sleep well because I have enough battery to play my YouTube that helps me sleep and crash. And then I can even wake up instead of waking up 3:30 and 3:40 something and panicking, I can wake up 3:40 something and actually settle down, fetch water, take my bath, and go and do my attendance. I can wake up 4 o'clock and still take my bath. You have no idea how convenient this is. I've not fetched it. I have to finish this podcast. I'm going to fetch it. And then one last thing. I learned something from Ima today. He said, our first few days in this camp, right now we've understood our schedule and we're not in a hurry anywhere anymore, which is good. The environment trains you and shapes you into something, into regimen. And he said he just said it in passing, any minute time we are dashing anybody, we are dashing the person in our life. Any time we spend arguing nonsense is time that we could have taken to prepare for the next event. And so it's made me very, very conscious about my time now. It's I can't here. It's either you are here chasing women or you are here chasing connection. Not connection, you know what I mean by connection? The one that will help you get ahead in life, or not connection, deep connection, emotional type of connection. Not that one. So, you have to decide what you are doing with your time because it's limited. Anyway, that is that for the podcast today. If you got any questions or things you want to ask and things that obviously the comment section is free, it has always been, and comments keep flying in, but there's something you want to hear. I feel like my days have become very repetitive. I didn't say something. I ate dinner. We ate 2 meals. So I ate dinner today. And it was rice and stew and fish. And I'm going to tell you something about that meal. It is just bad enough for you to survive and make it to the morning. That's what I'll say. The fish is fish. All they had to do was put it in oil, so that is okay. The rice was okay, well boiled. I don't know. I don't think I would do better with boiling rice than that. But you see that stew. But forget it. Iman was complaining bitterly about it. But I was like, I mean, there are 3,000 of us here. I mean, what do you expect? Like, to be rich with stuff that you will see condiments inside. Come on now. Be realistic. That's it for the podcast. See you guys tomorrow.